All right, so folks, good evening. I hope everyone is staying warm because, as we say in Brooklyn and the metro area, it is brick outside. And for those who don't know, that means it is properly cold. And so this public hearing is called to order at 6:46 p.m. on Monday, February 9th, 2026 at the East Midwest Jewish Center at 1625 Ocean Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, 11230. And so the purpose of this hearing is to hear public testimony by community members with respect to the citywide statement of needs for fiscal years 27 and 28. So in accordance with Section 204 of the New York City Charter, the mayor has submitted New York City needs for facilities for public review and comment. The purpose of this statement is twofold. So number one, to inform the public at the earliest possible stage of the city's future needs for facilities and the specific criteria for selecting their locations. And number two, to provide information about the existing distribution of city properties. So the statement of needs was made available for review on the CB14 website, and the statement of needs describes city facilities that are proposed for closing or expansion in the next 2 years. So CB14 will be submitting comments on these documents. If members of the public wish to testify on this issue, you must register for time. So please sign up at the back table with Patricia. Please state clearly for the record your name if you are a resident of CB14 or the organization you represent. And so District Manager Sean Campbell has reviewed the statement of needs and will highlight some plans as they pertain to CB14. And so now I pass it over to District Manager Sean Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For those of you who took a look at this and remember what it looked like in years past, you may have noticed that it was changed significantly. And I think that the Department of City Planning is trying to sort of braid the different strands of the budget process together to add more context. So that's not a bad idea, but it made it hard to really focus in on the citywide statement of needs, which, for those who don't know and those who don't mind a reminder, the citywide statement of needs is the list of all city property assets that are going to be changed by community district. So if you're getting a new building, if an agency is moving their headquarters from one place to another, it also includes parks and playgrounds. So as in years past, I'm going to start really focused on our district and then I'll pan out a little bit. Focused on our district, the district needs statement does not include any sightings in Community District 14 that will either be new assets, city-owned assets, or that will be majorly repaired or that will be closing. So no change in terms of city buildings and properties in the district. That's as in most years, but we have in the past complained or pointed out to them that it should include the 70th Police Precinct House. A new 70th Police Precinct House has been recognized as a need in this district. I've been saying 35 years for a few years now, so it must be like 38. It was once in the city budget. The city had planned to build a new precinct house. I think that the funding was put on hold after 9/11. That's how long ago that was. The property was maintained for a little while. I think a deposit had been put down on it, but then the owner of the property just couldn't wait any longer for the city and sold it for private development. Since that time, we have been urging NYPD and OMB to identify a new location. You might recall, some of you were here when they did a $1 million study to determine whether or not they could build on site, take down the current house and build on site, and for $1 million they figured out no, they couldn't, and I maintain I could have told them that for $10. And so they did put the precinct back in the need statement back in 2020. Back in 2023, but they were acknowledging it as if it was the first time it was in there. So we said, thank you for putting it back, but please note that it's been a need for the past 30 years. And then it was still in there in 2024, and they had identified the square footage that they need to build was sort of taking every potential site that's in the district out of the running. So our request the last time around was to please take a look at the specs that you're looking at, because even something smaller than ideal is better than what exists now. And then this year it's not in there at all. So the plan, I think, is to maintain the request that we always have. Please advise Community District 14, should a location come under consideration for any citywide need, and nicely, we'll say, put the precinct back into the plan and redefine the specs so that it's appropriate to the space that's available. We also had asked them for a list of sites that had been considered and rejected because of the square footage.
Thank you very much for that breakdown, District Manager Campbell. So, Joe?
If I may, regarding the precinct, before 9/11, because I was involved in it, we had a meeting at our offices with all the electeds in order to get everybody on board with the need for the precinct. And what had happened, we did get a few $1 million, but unfortunately 9/11 happened, and they took the money because of emergencies that they had to use. What I'm asking is maybe it would be a good idea to reconvene all the electeds at one time in one room to impress upon them the need, the sore need for this thing. People can't get down. You have UCP is there. You have people are in wheelchairs that they're navigating with their breath. Police cars can't get down. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely an abort. It's horrible. We have to get everybody in one room to impress upon them the need for this new precinct.
Thank you very much for that comment. I see Florencia. Yes.
Yeah, and also, in addition to that, the pipes burst on the street,
I got pictures for that.
and cars were frozen. Because the water came out and it was that cold. So it's a dangerous situation. So yes, please.
Got you. Thank you very much for that. Do I see any other comments from additional board members? And so then, District Manager Campbell, were those the main, I guess, things you wanted to highlight from the citywide statement of needs?
Just if we could pan out for a second.
Sure.
Those are the things very specific to the district, but I do urge you to take a look at when I said that they were trying to braid different strands of the budget together, the thing that they do look at that they hadn't before was kind of the district needs statements from all the community boards, and they did a sort of citywide top 3, and like citywide affordable housing was the top, and that matched with us. Parks was number 3, and for us it was also number 3. Land use trends, where did we departed from the citywide trend in terms of infrastructure. That was ranked 5th in the citywide, but 2nd in our district. So I'll try to pull out where our needs are specific to our districts and might not match the citywide. And then I'm going to question some of their methodology, because where they were talking about housing trends, where affordable housing or where housing in general is being built, they didn't control for size of the district or population within. So when you're going with just raw numbers, and it doesn't, I think it needs that context. So we'll ask about that. So questioning the methodology, asking to be advised if a site is being considered for city location, and then re-emphasizing the re-absence, if that's a word, of the precinct house.
Okay. So thank you very much for that. And so so seeing that there's no additional comments from board members, I'm gonna ask if I have a motion. And so the motion would be to submit the comments. No, actually it's a recommendation. We'll make the motion thing, right? But do I have a recommendation to submit the comments for the citywide statement of needs as described by District Manager Campbell? Okay, excellent. And so are there any board members opposed? Are there any board members abstaining? Are there any board members ineligible? Okay, so the recommendation carries. And so this public hearing is concluded at 6:55 p.m. and our board meeting will start at 7 p.m. Awesome. Thank you, folks. Right, so folks, we are back. And so, friendly reminder, we got these mics in the front and they're super sensitive. They should be able to pick up the conversation and the questions as well too. And so RIP to Patricia, passing out the mic in the front. And so this meeting of Brooklyn Community Board 14, somebody's phone, please make silent. So this meeting of Brooklyn Community Board 14 is called to order on Monday, February 9th, 2026 at 7 p.m. under the applicable statutes of New York State, the Charter of New York City, the board's bylaws, and Robert's Rules of Order. So the board's policy is to encourage detailed public discussion of matters before the board, at our committee meetings, and at our public hearings. So consequently, except by board members, there will be no public discussion at our regularly monthly meeting of matters about which a public hearing or committee meeting has been held. Specific service delivery requests or complaints should be brought to the attention of the district's office staff, and you can do that by calling the board office at regular business hours or visiting our website anytime. And so other matters of civic interest, they may be brought before the board during our scheduled public comment period, which will begin tonight after all other business on the board's monthly meeting agenda has been concluded. And please, no partisan political appeals or advertising of for-profit enterprises will be heard. And people wishing to speak during the public comment period, you are asked to pre-register. And so first things first, could the secretary please call the roll?
Good evening, everyone. And welcome. Glad you break the code. Thank you. Shahibzada Sabir Ahmad,
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Wahil Ahmed,
I'm here.
Carissa Alfonso, Gregory Alvarez,
Present.
Indy Bendel, Benjamin Bendet,
Here.
Davina Bolanot, Christopher Bronson,
Present.
Carl Henry Cesar,
Present.
Florencia Chaniguita, present. Yvette Claire Jean,
Here.
Elizabeth Dennis,
Present.
Lisa Derrick,
Here.
Joseph Dweck,
Here.
Royson Ford,
Here.
Joel Gray,
Here.
Suzanne Hargett,
Present.
Musa Hassoun,
Here.
Ian Haynes, Mordecai Husarski,
Present.
Kashif Hussein, Monica Johnson, Erica Phillips Jones, Kirsty Jutila,
Here.
Nicole Levinson Angulo,
Here.
Alex Lesman,
Here.
Donald Loggins, Sasha Maslewski, Melissa Minnick,
Here.
Ephraim Nuremberg,
Present.
Asma Nusi,
Present.
Eric Ost,
Present.
Ornella Parker,
Present.
Nora Pena,
Here.
Suzanne Phillip,
Present.
Zvi Pluska, Barton Persant,
Here.
Bazarupi, Nina Sapir,
Here.
Joel Siegel,
Here.
Gail L. Smith,
Present.
Alexa Summers,
Here.
Tova Svenberg, Rolanda Telesport Hastek, Abraham Treff,
Here.
Deborah Valentin,
Here.
Alana Wilson.
Here.
You do have to go.
Thank you, Secretary. Excellent. Thank you, folks. And so next up, the minutes. And so District Manager Campbell, did we receive any proposed changes to the minutes via email? No. Okay. Do we have any proposed changes for the January 2026 minutes from the floor? So do you have folks any? Yes?
Sorry, super small. Sorry.
That's fine. Go.
Just where it says hope count, that's actually, it's all like capitalized. It's acronym.
Okay. So thank you very much for that. So then, are there any other suggestions from the floor? Okay, so seeing none, do I have a motion to adopt the minutes of January 2026 with the proposed amendment? Okay, do I have, thank you very much. Thank you, folks. And so, do I have any board members ineligible? Any board members abstaining? Any board members against? So the motion carries. And so let me pass it off to District Manager Campbell for the District Manager's report.
Thank you, and thanks everybody for making it out on the snowy, cold Camp Park evening. It was a doozy. It's still kind of a doozy. Just to put it in context, the snowfall wasn't that big of a deal. It didn't even hit top 10. But the number of days where it's been sub-zero since the snow fell pretty much almost matches a 1961 record. So it's been a while that it's been this cold for this long. February 2nd is what sort of messed it up for us because it went to 33 degrees on February 2nd. Otherwise, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it'd be nice to do all of this and walk away with the record, right? And, you know, so obviously the office has fielded a lot of questions, concerns, complaints, and frustrations with the pace of removing snow, cars being reblocked in after shoveling out, the pace of garbage collection, and we tried to manage expectations and explain things like, fun fact, if you put garbage on a truck that has a plow, the truck starts to tip back and the plow doesn't reach, so you can't do both with the same truck. Other snowy cities have two different fleets, but for the number of times that we have to deal with this, again, 1961, a separate fleet might not be cost effective for us. So hopefully we're, you know, groundhogs notwithstanding, we're turning a corner. It's going to get a little bit warmer, and I want to thank, there's so many people in our community who went out and shoveled for a neighbor and checked on an elderly neighbor and went shopping for the family that had a newborn and all of that, and then the neighbor who had the knee replacement and jumped the car for the neighbor who had to get out. So for all of you who did something kind, more of that, please, because it was really great stories. And, you know, if it can't be warm out, we might as well at least have heartwarming stories. Since our last meeting, in addition to the snow, the Future of Community Boards has met with the Department of City Planning regarding the city charter changes in land use. There's going to be another presentation on that for the public. You'll be hearing more about it later, but reach out to the office if you want that link. It's Monday, next Monday evening, 6 o'clock or something like that, but more details on that, you can always check with the office. We also discussed in a separate Future of Community Board meetings, you know, our regular conversation about challenges we have in common, including our need for a baseline budget increase since we haven't had one in 20 years, a letter to our 5 overlapping council members, as well as our GovOps chair, which is Gail Brewer now, who's been a real champion for community boards, so that gives me some sense of optimism, and the City Council Finance Chair, and the new City Council Speaker. We're all copied on the letter explaining how in the past 20 years our budget has increased on average 1.5% a year while inflation went up 2.5%. So we've basically had a budget decrease over the past 20 years. And we will keep advocating for that. We also have set up an IBO presentation. I hope to share more on that, but we're going to hear from IBO about the depressed headcounts in city agencies and why that, you know, contributes to the struggle to get things done as efficiently and expeditiously as we would like. We also had our district service cabinet meeting, and we're glad to see new faces in the new administration. We were joined by somebody from SBS, which we haven't had an SBS participant in a long time, so that's encouraging. We have a new Commission on Human Rights liaison, and for the first time ever, at least in my tenure, there's now a transit liaison who'll be joining our district service cabinet meetings. So we will make sure that those are valuable additions, and appreciate those commissioners for making sure that there's a liaison. There were a couple of community meetings, including the Prospect Park Alliance Community Engagement Meeting. So stay tuned for more events and ways to work with them. And then tomorrow is our first Borough Service District meeting of 2026, so I'll report on that next time. And that's it. I have a couple of, I said the last time I was going to try to get to several commissioners to do a congratulations introduction of our high-level district needs. So we have the commissioner letters out and the sanitation superintendent's letters out. We'll be getting more out. We're working on the HPD letter and some others, so more on that next month. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you very much for that report. Very much. Thank you so much. And so for the chair's report, so folks, good evening. So yes, all of you who made it through the cold, I thank you very much. Hope you stay warm. Yes, Nina, you're right. It is a heat wave, technically, since it's not 6 degrees. But it's still been pretty brick and all that other stuff. And so I thank folks, from the jokes aside, I hope you stay warm, and that if you know people who aren't, you help them out, and yes, escalate concerns to the district office. People know I love sports, so I got to call out. I'm glad the Patriots lost. Thank goodness. Go Seattle. I needed that revenge. I had to say that. And I'm glad Alvarado's doing this thing. So that's it. So now I'll get started. So to those who celebrate the Lunar New Year, I do hope that they will do so festively, and that this is the year of the horse and it treats you well. And February is also Black History Month. And so I wholeheartedly thank the Black community for their continued, yes? Yeah, first. So heads up, and so heads up for questions, and so usually it's board members who can ask questions, and so since you are a member of the public, then whatever questions that you have, then you could either come to Patricia in the back and share questions, or also too, there's a chance with public comment. If there's something you'd like to say during the public comment period, then you would be able to share that during the public comment period. And so I thank you for your patience with that as well too. And so, since February is Black History Month, I wholeheartedly thank the Black community for their continued challenges of and contributions to and enrichment of American society and culture. And for those who will observe Lent, I hope that is a thoughtful and enlightening period. And for those who will celebrate Ramadan, I hope that is also a reflective and a rejuvenating period. So for board members, I would be remiss not to thank a board member who no longer serves with us, and so this individual is Shahid Khan. And so Shahid resigned. And so Shahid was appointed to the board in 2016. He served on the Education, Libraries, and Cultural Affairs Committee, the Community Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development Committee, the Human Services Committee, and he had also been elected to the Executive Committee. So he was an active community member, running a nonprofit organization, being active with the 7th Precinct Community Council. He was involved with shooting responses. He worked with the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, and he always made sure to share the relevant work with CB14. And in addition, he was always willing to listen to folks and remind people of his journey to CB14 and other parts in life, and remind us, to have one more second for one more ounce of empathy. And so wherever he's going in his next chapter, I wish him the best. And I would ask folks to join me in a round of applause for our former board member, Shahid Khan. Okay, so citywide statement of needs. And so we had a public hearing on that. It took place today here at the Eastwood Midwood Jewish Center. And so the purpose was to hear testimony by community members with respect to the citywide statement of needs for fiscal year 2027 and 2028. So District Manager Campbell shared her observations. Board members asked questions, and a recommendation passed to provide comments to DCP in regards to methodology for some calculations, the re-absence of the request for a new precinct for a new site for the 70th precinct, and also advising should a site come under consideration for a city asset. So do board members have any questions or comments? So hearing none, do I have a motion for CB14 to send a letter of comment to DCP as stated? Okay, thank you. And so do I have any board members abstaining? Do I have any board members ineligible? Do I have any board members opposed? Okay, so the motion carries. So before I go to this part, there's some folks that I want to recognize. So I have Ellie Slavin from Congresswoman Yvette Clarke's office. So Thank you very much. I have Megan Fleming White from Councilmember Farrah Lewis's office. Okay. I have Noam Abrams from Senator Sutton. I have Mary Kay Siri from Assembly Member Robert Carroll. And I have Portia Edwards from Senator Myree's office as well. So folks, thank you very much for coming. So public advocate press announcement. So on Wednesday, January 21st, I joined a press announcement by public advocate Jumani Williams in front of 80 Woodruff Ave. And the purpose of this press conference was to announce the latest release of the public advocate's worst landlords list. And this is based on open violations from November 2024 to October 2025. And the press conference took place in front of 80 Woodruff because the #1 worst landlord on the list, Margaret Braun, is the landlord of that property via A&E Real Estate Holdings. And upsetting fact #2, the worst land on the list, Donald Hastings, is also associated with A&E Real Estate Holdings as well. So folks who spoke, Councilwoman Rita Joseph, about the number of violations at that property and how the majority of complaints her office receives are housing related. A tenant of 80 Woodruff who gave examples of the landlord not doing their job. CUF, the Flatbush Tenants Coalition, CASA, and myself. And so when I spoke, I said a few words after a brief quip about the weather because it was still that cold out there. I said the only thing colder than the weather was the disregard that the landlord had for the tenants. And I said that those issues were indicative of some bigger things that affect the community district, mainly re-ranked 12th out of 59th in community districts and the number of reported serious housing code violations. Nearly 300 out of every 1,000 units in our community district have a serious housing code violation. 10 buildings in our district were on the 2024 worst landlords list, including 80 Woodruff, and 80 Woodruff was on that list in 2022 as well. And then basically I thanked the public advocate and his team for creating this list and shining a light on housing quality and inequality. And I also stated the same thing as well, that folks who are experiencing any issues or challenges, please don't hesitate to reach out to the community board district office, okay? So after remarks and comments were made, I joined Public Advocate Williams, Councilwoman Joseph, and some others to see the basement and an apartment in 80 Woodruff. So I'll be real with you. I was extremely upset and sad at what I saw because I went to the basement first. So it smelled like feces the minute you got out the elevator. There are multiple areas where you could see rat droppings. The laundry room had a big puddle of water in the middle of the room. And then I took the elevator up to a tenant's apartment. So the apartment that I saw had a slew of issues. The tenant was easily rattling them off as easy as one can breathe. And then I was chatting with another tenant who was telling me their story about advocating for themselves and other tenants in the building, precisely given the challenges that they have. And so I had all those emotions because the core thing I was feeling was essentially, why take a job if you don't plan on doing it well and treating people respectfully, right? Like that was just the core thing that I was feeling. But it's also important that I highlight the other important thing is the people who were there, just because you can't advocate for yourself and other people if there's not some sort of relationship there. And so I am also giving a shout out to the tenants of 80 Woodruff that I met and the stories of the other tenants there that I had heard stories of from the other people that I had seen. And so I'm definitely thinking of them. And then, you know, Public Advocate Williams continues to work with City Council for legislation and other things. And so I'm definitely hoping that through those avenues and other means that these people are definitely going to get the help they need, because what I saw was disrespectful. Like, that's just the truth. And so the next thing I want to remind folks about is the Citizens Police Academy. So the spring session is soon coming up. And so friendly reminder that last fall, myself and Ian Haynes, we did it. I shared my thoughts about that in the November 2025 General Board meeting. So if any folks are interested, please let the district office know, and then that way the district office can pass your contact info to Officer Jewett from the 7th Precinct, okay? So next up, Secretary Florencia Chang-Ajita, she attended the February 2nd Brookdale Community Advisory Board meeting. So quick recap, Dr. Mary Miller, who was the Dean for the College of Nursing in Harlem, is now the Director of Nursing for OVH1. Gloria McCullough, who's been a nurse for 22 years and was the Assistant Manager, is now the Interim Director for the Emergency Department. Ambulatory care will be standardized across sites and will include dentistry. The remodeling of the Eastern Parkway and the new lot sites continues. Eastern Parkway is partially open. There was a report on repairs at Brookdale, as well as a report on improvements in cardiology and neurology care. And also there's some upcoming events, including a Black History Month Lunch and Learn series. So there were already 2 that took place last Monday and this Monday. There's going to be 2 more on the 18th and the 23rd. And I also want to recognize Detective Scott Nuzzi from the 7th Precinct. So Scott, thank you for coming. And so next up, the Brooklyn Borough Board report. So I went to Brooklyn Borough Board on Tuesday, February 3rd. The main updates, number 1, the Civic Engagement Commission, AKA CEC, not to be confused with the other CEC that's associated with New York Public Schools, because we know there's that other one, right? But basically, they're a city agency. They came about through basically a ballot proposal that passed in like 2018. So they came to present on their programs and opportunities within Brooklyn. And then also Brooklyn Borough Board repassed a resolution that covered the following items high level, urging the state legislature to revise the open meetings law to allow community boards the option of fully virtual hybrid meetings, if certain conditions are met. Urging the state legislature to amend the open meetings law to remove the requirement for an in-person quorum for hybrid meetings, and also asking the state, the mayor of New York City and New York City Council to provide community boards with increased funding to support the technological capacity and training needs that fully supporting virtual and hybrid meetings would require, right? And just to give people the context, we passed this resolution because the current hybrid provision is supposed to expire in July 2026. So that's why we had a committee of Borough Board to think through this stuff, okay? And so now I go to, bless you, and so now we go to the nominating committee report. And so first of all, please join me in thanking this year's nominating committee. We have Mordechai Husarski, we have Susan Phillip, we have Nora Pena, we have Nina Sabgir and Nikki Levinson Angulo for their hard work. So folks, please give me a round of applause for them. And Mordechai, since you are the chair, could you please come up to the podium and announce the slate?
Thank you very much. I was nominated as the chair of the nominating committee by the committee. As the odd man out, literally, that's the reason why I was nominated. So I didn't do anything special for that. But first of all, as a committee member and as the chair of the nominating committee, I want to thank our current board chair, Carl Henry Cesar, for his hard and dedicated work. And it's been great, and we know that you're going to continue to help and move along to the next slate of nominees. So the nominating committee nominated for the chair, Jarrell Gray, for first vice chair, Eric Ost, for second vice chair, Ornella Parker, for third vice chair, Greg Alvarez, for secretary, Benjamin Bendet, and for the members at large, Melissa Minnick and Asma Nusi. I think that's all I have to do.
That's it.
All right.
That's it. So thank you so much. And so I believe, the board member? Okay, I have a request. And so could the members of the nominating committee please stand so we can give you? Oh, no, those were nominated? Okay, my bad. I misunderstood. So could the folks who were nominated, could they please stand? And so I'm going to read your name and then please stand. So Gerald Gray. All right. Eric Ost. Ornella Parker. Gregory Alvarez. Benjamin Bendet. Melissa Minnick. And Asma Nusi. Thank you. And so I believe Board Member Angulo, did you have a question? Okay, got it. All right, got it. Nina, did you have a question? Or?
I had a question before we're going to skip it.
Okay, got it. Cool. Awesome. So in that case, that ends the chair's report. And so just reminders. I'm just kidding. That's true. I forgot. Okay, yes. And so I need to do a procedural thing that's very important. And so you heard the slate that the nominating committee put forth. Are there any nominations from the floor? So I have to go position by position. So first ask, are there any nominations from the floor for chairperson? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to move on to the next one. Are there any nominations from the floor for first vice chair? Okay. Are there any nominations from the floor for second vice chair? Okay. Are there any nominations from the floor for third vice chair? Okay. Are there any nominations from the floor for secretary? Are there any nominations from the floor for first member at large? Okay, for any members at large. Yeah, let me put it together. Are there any nominations from the floor for members at large? Yeah. Okay, so seeing none, then that is our slate, and we will have the election for these candidates in our March General Board meeting. And so that officially concludes the chair's report. All right, thank you very much for that catch. I appreciate that. Okay, so next up, so thank you for that very much as well, Florenci, appreciate that, right? So next up is our topical committees. So basically, we're going to have Youth Services, Education, and Libraries Committee, followed by Community Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development. So Youth Services, you're up.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Youth Services, Education, Libraries Committee. My name's Eric. I'm a co-chair.
Hi, everyone. I'm Arnell. I'm the second co-chair.
This is the first. So a couple of announcements. Want to remind you that the CEC22 is hosting Chancellor Samuels at PS 217 on Thursday night. You didn't miss it. So I think there's a link on the CB14 website if you'd like to RSVP. You can go in person at 6:30 to 7:30, or it's being streamed online, so you can watch it hybrid. PS 217 is Coney Island in Newkirk, if you don't know where it is. So it's the first stop in his tour of all the districts. Second, we have applications are open for New York City's Summer Youth Employment Program, jobs, internships, opportunities for young people ages 14 to 24. And the application link is also on the CB14 website if you want to check it out. We were asked to promote, and we're excited to, the Woodlands Youth Crew application at the Prospect Park Alliance. The application's open through Thursday. The Prospect Park Alliance paid youth employment program focuses on stewardship of the park. Young people get paid while doing hands-on restoration of Prospect Park, supporting the health of the park. It's working outside during the upcoming spring, summer, fall. It's a paid job. So if you know young people who'd be interested in applying, there are flyers on the table that we got from the Prospect Park Alliance. That application is at prospectpark.org/youth employment. And last announcement. At our last meeting, our committee meeting, we had a representative from an advocacy organization for the Library Action Network for our libraries. The shared NYC plan, they asked the city to pledge 0.5% of the city budget to the public libraries for the 2027 budget, up from 0.45 of the city budget. I feel like this is not the crew that I need to explain how important the libraries are, but just for posterity, libraries are not just about lending books. They also have DVDs. They have, there's so many essential services provided by the libraries. Open, public, climate-controlled spaces for all city residents, help for non-English speaking immigrants to understand and interact with culture, government, economic system, educational system, and countless fun, free education programs for all residents, resume, job application support, on and on and on. So we wanted to propose that the board write a letter in support of this budget increase, and if the board would be open, if we could make a motion to write a letter in support of their project.
So thank you very much for sharing that. And so, Nina, do you have a question?
No. Are we opening that for discussion?
Yes, this is open for discussion right now, yes.
Okay, so can I move that we write a letter of support for an increase in budget for libraries in Brooklyn?
Yes,
Thank you.
you are very welcome. Okay. Seconded. And so we have a motion on the floor to write that letter in support.
Fantastic. So Mandy, Sally.
Well, wait, we have a motion, we got to vote on it, though. Yeah. Yeah, we got to vote on it. And so we have the motion that's on the floor now. Yes. Sure. So the motion is, and Nina, please correct me if I'm wrong, so the motion is for CB14 to write a letter in support of a budget increase.
Sorry, 0.5%.
A budget increase of 0.5% for the city budget.
2.45%.
Okay, 2.45%.
No, going to.
TO.
Okay, TO.
0.45%
Ah.
to 0.5%.
Got it, okay, got it.
It is a 0.05%
Increase, okay, understood.
We're voting on 0.05%. Can we give that to the libraries? That's
Yes, okay, got it. No, this is why the clarity matters, so thank you for that, yes. And so Florencia, that's the motion. The motion on the floor is to write a letter in support of a 0.05% increase for the libraries. Okay, and so do I have any board members abstaining from this vote? Do I have any board members who are ineligible to vote? Do I have any board members who are opposed? Okay, so that motion carries.
Yay, our library get 0.5% of the
I mean, which is wild, but yeah.
1.5.05.
0.5. No, 0.5%. It's a 0.05 increase.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a letter of support, though. I'm just hoping that it listens to us.
yeah, but it starts, it's a start, yeah.
All right, everyone. So that was past meetings. Thank you guys for making that letter of support happen. But what's coming up? So our youth resource fair is on the horizon, y'all. Like, I feel like we've been talking about this for a while, and we're down to the wire now. Yeah. So first thing first is I spoke to you guys last month around making sure that we had volunteers for the day of event. We have a lot of volunteers who are helping with a lot of the pre-event stuff. So shout out to everyone who's made calls. Is Sasha here? Shout out Sasha if you're listening. But who's made a lot of calls to schools, confirming point of contacts, making sure that when we send out flyers, which you'll see in a second, that we have the right contacts and that our youth in our neighborhoods are hearing about this amazing event. So the next thing is we're going to continue planning, but the most important part is we need volunteers for the day off. So if you are someone who cares about our youth, yes, I'm putting some value alignment out there, y'all. If you care about our youth and you want to support an amazing turnout this year, an amazing flow of events, please show up to our next meeting, which is February 11th, which is next week, which is this Wednesday. I know I'm like mixing my days together, y'all. This Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. It'll be via WebEx. Please join. Okay. Sorry, I was debating between in person or WebEx, but it'll be WebEx. WebEx, 6:30 this Wednesday, February 11th. We're going to continue planning. You get to have a say in that, but you get to get first pick on the volunteer positions for the day of event. Speaking of which, when we say volunteer, something we're going to need from you guys is, look how beautiful our flyer is. It would be a shame that they just live in this space and not make it in our community. So I really, really hope that before you leave today, that everyone in here takes up a few flyers and take
A lot, not a few.
right. Take up a lot because we got a lot up there and we got extras if we need it. Take up a lot. That's a correction, y'all. Cross out the few. Take up a lot and post it in your areas, especially hot spots, y'all. Think about the Cortell U corridor. Think about Coney Island Avenue. Think about Flatbush, Church Ave. But simply even your building, if you have permission, places that you work, anywhere that you frequent, so that anywhere that you know youth are going to see it or youth family members are going to see it, it is really important. That's the only way they're going to know it's happening is that they visually see it. And it's really bright, it's really nice, it catches your eyes. So again, last year we had so many flyers that just sat and end up going into the trash. So if you guys, again, take up a lot, on your way out, I'm going to go stand over there and watch everyone as you leave and give you the look like your hands are empty. But grab some, please, and make sure that you are posting them. They don't live in your bags. It literally takes a few minutes. On a Saturday, if you're walking to the grocery store, take them with you, take tape, put it up, and it's really that simple. So that's a quick ask. And yeah.
Just thank the translators. They're translated into
Yes.
French Creole. We have them in Russian. We have them in Urdu. We have them several languages. So thank you to the translators, and they're in different sizes as well. So merchants, people who have businesses just want to go small, big small.
Yep. And then the last thing, y'all. Who remembers what date this is actually happening?
March 11th.
Yes. Who was over here? There was no hesitation. Shame on the board members, though. March 11th. So everyone, one more time. What day is this actually happening? March 11th. Y'all are. It is Monday. We are so close to leaving. Why do we sound like we are literally dwindling away? People are watching this live. What is the date, y'all? March 11th. Yes. All right. March 11th. Remember, new time, 3:30 p.m. We are moving up so that we can make sure that students that get out early can go right away to the event. So March 11th, 3:30. See you guys there. Again, next meeting for planning will be this Wednesday on WebEx, 6:30 p.m. I saw a couple hands over here. Yes.
Recommended age range for attendees.
So we typically say 14 to like early 20s, but we've also had like middle school also join, like later middle school. So any kids who you think will benefit from resources, but it's typically high school and like early college years. But that was a really good question. And then, Susan?
Yes, if an organization wants to set up a resource table, what materials should they have with them? So that if I get the information out, if it's a resource, or if it's a business, or if it's an organization.
Susan, you can reach out to the district office and we'll send you the invitation that has a lot of that description in there. I think we have 50 organizations.
Yes.
Thus far.
But are you tapped out already, or no?
No.
Never.
The more resources, the better. And remember, this is going to be the biggest one yet, so.
Okay, my organization is supposed to be having a table at that event.
Yes.
Right?
What's your organization name?
I got my business card here, it's called the Jersey Man NYC Basketball Tournament.
Got you.
Okay, so we're planning to hand out keychains representing our organization. Are we allowed to have our logo, table runners and so like that?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, we'll make sure you're on the list, we'll be in touch, and,
If you give me permission.
So, we're looking for more organizations. We're also looking for volunteers to do mock interviews. We have interviews with kids who come. We ask them to bring their resumes so that they can sit down and talk with the professional. We especially love the electeds, if there's representatives or representative yourself or people from your office who'd like to participate. We really appreciate that, and it's great for the kids to get to meet with the local leaders of all the organizations. So if that's something you'd like to do, you can either sign up for like 45 minutes of doing it. If you can only do it for a little bit of time, please contact the district office. Any board member would be welcome to do that job. There are other jobs to do, but that's one we really want. That's forward-facing with the kids and opportunities for that. And anybody who's done those before, raise your hand. So anybody who's done the mock interviews, so if you haven't done them yet, ask somebody who has done them with their hand up, and they'll tell you what it's like. So thank you guys. We'll get you more posted.
Thank you. See you on February 11th to keep planning, and see you on March 11th. Oh, wow. Y'all didn't even hear what I said. February 11th to keep planning, but yes, March 11th to make it happen. I love it.
Got that energy. So next up, we have Community Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development, followed by Human Services.
Hi, I'm Deborah Valentine.
And I'm Christopher Bromson, who's the co-chair. Yeah. The Community Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development Committee. It's nice to be with everybody tonight and riding the wave of Warnella's energy. Thank you. All right. On the 21st of this month, via WebEx, it was a really last month. Thank you. Just like we're connected today. What day is it? Via WebEx, we had a great meeting. So we kicked it off with a presentation on updates to the neighborhood tree planting program for the Department of Parks and Recreation. It was presented by Mitch Barron Forrester. So whoever said there's nothing in the name, challenge here. So it's a huge overhaul to the program. So Since 2022, they have planted 666,134 trees on the street and 156,000 in parks. That's what exists now, right? Did I just say that? That's what exists now. Since 2022, in Brooklyn, they have planted 19,000 trees, 1,233 of which have been in our district on the streets and in the parks. So that's great. How did they decide where to plant them? This was not known to me, but I guess if you had called 311 in the past couple of years and said, we want a tree here, they would do it. It would take them, however, 3 years because there was an incredible backlog of over 42,000 requests and a 3-year wait time. So they are overhauling how they're going to do that. They have a new neighborhood tree planting program. So they are looking at New York City as a complete geographic area, and they have broken things up into districts and neighborhoods, like so many other things in the city do. So over the next 9 years, they will meet all of the different districts. And at the same time in each district, they will do tree planting, stump removal, cleanup, etc. So it's a whole new kind of thing. It's very exciting. They have a ton of information on their website about which districts are when. I took fair notes, but did not happen to capture when we are on the list. But I think we're in the middle somewhere. So lots to look forward to. Lots of trees coming.
All right, and we have a Prospect Park Zoo public program. It was presented by Bill Elliston of Wildlife and Conversational Society. Just said that wrong, right? But you know what I mean. Yeah. And they talked about a program that they have with schools, and it's all ages, where the kids come to the program and they learn how to, you know, take care of the animals and different things within the zoo. And this program has been going. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they have over 10,000 school students last year that participated in Wildlife Conservation Society, and 5 facilities works together to achieve the key objectives. They work within 55 countries across the world. Oh, okay, thank you. Also, there's a STEM starters program, multiple sessions, partnerships with schools, professional development for teachers, family engagement day, STEM starter kits, and lots of career development paid internships through the zoo. So only thing I didn't get to ask them was how do the kids get involved in it, but I'm assuming that it would go through the school. Thanks.
Plus, they're going to be at the youth conference, so they can go and find
Fantastic.
out.
There we go. Yeah, super great things happening at the zoo, all throughout the city. All right, and then we had a presentation, a wonderful kind of overview of upcoming programs and the outreach update from Audrey Banks, who is representing the All-in-One Community Center in Flatbush. So they have, they're working on opening a community center in the old Flatbush Presbyterian Church, which is on Forester between 22nd and 23rd. Really thoughtful, deep community engagement going into how they're building that. They'll have a fully operational kitchen, artist studios, community space. They're really excited. They are doing tours. They're not open yet. It's coming. They have a kind of flexible timeline. They're waiting on a few things, but they are currently doing tours every Friday. So you can visit their website to schedule a tour. It seems very charming. I'm going to go with a dog at some point, I think, who was told he was welcome for a tour. But it is allinoncommunitycenter.com. Really very cool. Their website is really interactive and has this incredible kind of 3D tour through the whole space, so you can start there and then go see it in person. All-in-one collective.com.
Okay, shine a light on Flatbush. It's a public grant to do community-driven light and art on Church Avenue and East 18th Street. the East 18th Street Sugar Cane Parade. They're looking to do that. There's LED, LED neon flux sugar canes, vinyl photo towels, audio component maybe on the gate, on corrugated metal wall, other ideas which would make the community come alive even more. Transitional lights for cambush windows, and freestanding pieces that reflect other sports. This is going to do February 11th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Lobby area of Bobby's for Communities event.
Yep, and all the information on that can be found through the Church Flatbush Community Alliance. But yeah, on Wednesday, it's 2 to 5 at Bobby's Department Store, a nice kind of community awareness event about the incredible art that we hope is coming.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, the renderings look really cool. And I think you can find those on their website too. Nice way to honor the community. So, next meeting, we're looking at the end of this month or very early in March. We're hoping to get that SBS person that Sean was talking about earlier. So stay tuned and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. That was a lot of stuff. That was very robust.
Big meeting.
And so next up, we have Human Services Committee, followed by the Community Safety Committee. And also, I want to shout out Britt Bird from Borough President Reynoso's office. So thank you for making it. It's warmer in here than it was out there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jarrell Gray.
And I'm Yvette Claire Jean. Okay, so on January 29th, we had a joint meeting with Community Safety and Human Services in person. So I'm gonna give part of that report, and then Community Safety will give the second half of the meeting. So we had a great in-person training. It was very cold, but for those who braved the cold, we got a lot of great information. So I'm going to talk about the Narcan training that we received from Jack, who's a representative from Dynamic Youth Community. So who knows what Narcan is? Oh, good. Educated people in the room. Good, good, good. So Narcan is a nasal spray that is used to reverse an opioid overdose. And so the most common drug seen is fentanyl. If people have fentanyl overdoses, you can use Narcan. So you want to use Narcan if you notice someone is, how to recognize an overdose. You see someone is unresponsive or unconscious. They have slow or they've stopped breathing. They have gray or blue nails and lips. They may be snoring or have gurgling sounds coming from their mouth. So something to know that I didn't know is that Narcan is safe to use even if opioids aren't present in someone's system, or really you're using it to reverse overdose. So before you do this, you want to check if the person is responsive. You want to call at them, shout at them, try to get their attention. You can rub their sternum. You definitely want to call 911. You want to open the Narcan spray. You have it? Yes. There we go. And you want to put it into the person's nose and press the spray. You want to put it directly into their nostril. You want to make sure that the person is on their side so that they don't start to choke. And if after 2 to 3 minutes of administering the first spray, you can give, and the person still remains unresponsive, you can give them a second dose. In the meantime, if 911 hasn't arrived yet, you can start to do CPR if you know how to do CPR. And know that someone reacting to Narcan, they may wake up feeling ill or a little groggy or a little upset, because they're a little out of sorts from the overdose. And make sure you only give Narcan if the person is unresponsive. You should not be giving this if the person is responding to you and able to talk. So that was something that was really great. I know in the office we have some of the kits, right, Sean?
Here.
We have
them
here
tonight.
We have here tonight. So if you weren't able to make the training, all of those us who attended the training, we received one, and they're here in the back table.
do want to shout out everyone that attended, as well as the Community Safety Committee. It was a very fun, educational program that we got to play around a little bit, but we do know how to save lives. So really appreciate the in-person joint committee meeting. And on Friday, February 13th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Kensington branch of the Brooklyn Public Library will be hosting a disability resource fair, where they'll have information about services and programs for those with disabilities. And there are some flyers in the back. And we will be having what I believe is our last committee meeting. It will be online, not in person. We did a lot of collabs this year, but this one will just be us, the Human Services Committee, where we'll have presentation from the Maimonides Medical Center, as well as the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection for tax prep, as well as other services. So it is tax season. The IRS does not play about their money, so please take advantage of the session.
So next up, so thank you very much for that, Human Services. So next up, we have Community Safety.
Good evening, everyone. Florencia Changajita.
Good evening, Hindi Gonzal. How is everyone tonight on this freezing cold night? Thank you everyone for coming. So as you just heard from the Human Services, we had a joint meeting on the 29th of January, and it was a freezing cold night, and so I'm so sorry that more people weren't able to come because it was a fabulous meeting. And maybe we should do something again maybe we should have them come again soon so that more people could join. So, when it's warmer, yeah. So the FDNY launched the Control the Bleed training, which was really fabulous. Like, I got to be a guinea pig for Sean. And then Sean was also a guinea pig for me. So we basically learned how to stop the bleeding, which is amazing, and you never know when you're going to need that. So that was very enlightening. Number one, first of all, we always call 911, because even if you tell people, you don't know that someone's calling. So you need to make sure that either you say you calling or did you call, or you call yourself first, okay? Then before you touch blood, you want to have gloves. However, if there are no gloves, we don't always have gloves with us, and you don't have any cuts on your hands, you could take a cloth, you could tear a shirt or something and just, use that. Obviously, gloves are preferable, but, you don't always have that. So there are three kinds of bleeding. There's arterial bleeding, which is obviously the spurting. You never want to see that, and that's going to be real red blood coming out, and you really have to stop that right away. Then there's various bleeding, which is it's darker in color, and then there's capillary bleeding, which is like a regular scrape, which is what we normally see. Now, as soon as you see bleeding, you want to put pressure on it. And if it's you want to put as much pressure as you can. And if it's really not stopping and it's a serious bleed, you want to put a tourniquet on. Now, you never put a tourniquet around the neck or the torso or a joint. And as I'm saying it, and I hear people laughing, but some people did that. So it's not you have to know, common sense is not so common. So what you want to do is you want to put on a tourniquet and you want to twist it, and hopefully that should help stop the bleeding. You may need help from the person. If the person, you want to talk them down, you want to calm them down, you want to be very calm and very chilled. You don't want them to get nervous, because if someone's nervous, their blood pressure goes up, they bleed more. So you're very calm, very collected. You would never take your hands off the pressure. Even when you're doing the tourniquet, you can ask that person to help. If they're okay, they can hold it for you. And yeah, that's basically it. It's really life-saving. I'm so happy I was able to have the opportunity, to be there. And we really want to make everyone else have that opportunity as well.
Thank you. It really was fun. Those of you who didn't make it, you really missed something. Because it really taught me a lot, and it helps to save a life. So it was really great. And so now I just want to share some information in regards to, as a former valedictorian for Citizens for Police Academy, please go. It's really exciting, seriously. Well, it's changed a little, but it's still exciting. It's a 6-week course, and it's in Queens at the new auditorium. And usually you get transported, right, Detective Newsley? Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, you have to go to the precinct and they will take you over there. And it gives you, the regular citizens, a behind-the-scenes look at really what happens. And do they do ride-alongs anymore, or no?
Yes, you can go through the one police plaza for that. It goes up
Yeah.
that level.
Yeah, the night I did my ride-along was domestic violence. It was scary, but you don't go inside, but just getting there. But they do ride-alongs, and they teach you how to de-escalate, because even if you're not a police officer, people get into arguments all the time. And so it teaches you how to de-escalate before something happens. Even in families, you need to know this, right? Because when tempers flare, things happen. But yeah, so it's something that you should, and please reach out to the board office. Sean will pass on the information to Officer Jouett. In addition, this is interesting, on the 25th will be the precinct council meeting. It will be at the Adapt at 175 Lawrence Avenue. So you know it's difficult getting there. However, come March, location to be announced will be in Sector David. And after that, the meetings will be going to other sectors. So that's a great thing. So for those who couldn't make it over to the precinct, you can at least make it when it's in your area. Because we need to come out to the precinct council meetings. It's one way, your elected officials are usually there, or representatives. The CO, you can speak to him about issues within your community, so it's a good place to be. As I said this week, this one will be in February, we'll be there on the 25th, Wednesday. And the inspector is now putting up, he has in place a historic wall, a history wall of officers that have served over since the 19?
Not quite yet, but yes.
Okay.
1900.
And then there will be a wall for the Cup of the Month. And this is something that has been reinstalled. You know, they're now Cup of the Month. Every month he honors at least 2 officers. And it's really, their families come out. So please come to the council meetings. You're missing a lot. Thank you. All right.
Thank you both so much. So next up, that was also very robust. So next up, we have housing and land use, followed by transportation.
Good evening, everybody. Greg Alvarez and Melissa Minnick, we're the co-chairs of Housing and Land Use. So we don't have our next meeting scheduled just yet, but we do have some announcements. We just want to go through those this evening. All right, so first off, there is, oh, that's the wrong one. On February 23rd, the Department of City Planning is going to be holding the session that I believe Sean had mentioned earlier. It's called Unpacking the Housing Charter Reforms. It's a virtual session that you can sign up for, and it's going to go through basically the ballot initiatives that we voted for back in November. And just memory serves us what those were. Couple of things, let's see. So we created an expedited land use review procedure, or ELRP, that would allow modest projects, affordable housing and infrastructure, and resilience projects to be reviewed more quickly. An affordable housing appeals board that would give affordable housing proposals that are cut down or rejected another chance. They're modernizing the city map, and some other things too, but just to make sure I'm capturing some of them. But all of it will be covered at this event on February 23rd, so we encourage everyone to sign up for that. Another announcement I'd like to make, it goes back to last month's session where there were questions about the Sears development in terms of the affordability that's available. So with the help of the district office, thank you very much. We did take a look, and there actually is a current lottery that's going on, just to mention. It's on the NYC Housing Connect website. The name of the project is Bedford Beverly Phase 1. That's 2363 Bedford Avenue. And there are, let's see, so the housing lottery is going on right now. It involves 69 units, and the eligible folks who can register for it, it would be within the 130% AMI. So if you go onto the website and take a look, you can see there, again, the lottery lasts until this Thursday.
So just a couple more things to share. One is another meeting that's being shared with Carol Ann Church, our Director of Community Boards. She shared this, I think everybody might have gotten this in their inbox, but this is not until, well, February 19th, so it's next Thursday, but this is all about a workshop on the 2025 Comprehensive Plan for Brooklyn, a roadmap for long-term equitable growth across the borough. And so I would encourage anybody who's really interested in looking at all the districting and what's going on to plug in, tune in, see what that is going to look like really across all of Brooklyn and how they're really thinking about that. Something else, just an update on the Hope Count. That got rescheduled twice due to the snow. And I was checking in with the city, that part of the city at least today, and
transition. The sale of MetroCards is already over. If you have any money on your MetroCards, go to stations, exchange them to OmniCards. Also, very soon, they're trying to work out some sort of situation for cash to still be used on buses, or at least outside of buses or something, but they're going to be phasing out cash on the actual bus. It's not going to happen in the first part of this year, but sometime in the second half of the year. To reach Brian Fritsch, you can reach him at mail@pcac.org. He's very, very open to getting your input, and a lot of that input from people in the community does go to the MTA. The next thing is Britt Bird passed by. He's going to talk to us about his event on March 3rd regarding low traffic neighborhoods, and I'll yield to him on that one. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So thank you guys very much for that. And so, folks, round of applause for Wayne Rosenfeld and the East Midwood Jewish Center for hosting us, and Mark Moss for live streaming, the man in the chair over there. So I say this all the time. I thank them both because we couldn't do this without them. And so now that brings us to our public comment period. And so, board members, please, you're expected to remain for this period. Speakers can sign up for time with Patricia at the back of the room up until the beginning of the period, which is now, so whoops. Matters of civic interest and announcements of public events are invited. So, friendly reminder, no partisan political appeals or advertising of for-profit enterprises are permitted. Each speaker will be permitted to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not receive additional time from another speaker. And speakers are directed to address the assembly from the front of the room, so right there at the podium. At the conclusion of the 3-minute period, each speaker must return to their seat. And the board does have an obligation to conduct their business in an orderly manner, and so if there's any person preventing the meeting from continuing, they may be asked to leave. And so it is 8:09 p.m. The first speaker is Mary Kay Siri, followed by Brenda Acosta. So Mary Kay, you're up.
Hi, everybody. So we have on March 5th, Assemblymember Carroll is going to host the New York City Department of Finance for one-on-one sessions, 15-minute sessions with representatives. You can talk about your notice of property value, tax liens, real estate taxes, anything that the New York City Department of Finance oversees. This is a great opportunity to meet with them. The other organization that's going to be there that same day, again, March 5th, it's Thursday from 10 to 2, is New York Connects. And they're administered through the New York City Department for the Aging, although they serve a wide range of folks. But they know everything about everything in terms of long-term benefits and services offered by New York City for older adults, for caregivers, for people with disabilities, all kinds of things. So we're going to start an ongoing partnership with them. I think they're going to be in the office probably once a month or so. But it's also a great opportunity if you're someone who's struggling or know someone who's struggling with needs of an older adult or a disabled person, et cetera. This is a great agency or organization to meet with. So hope to see you there on March 5th.
Thank you. All right, so next up we have Brenda Acosta from the, do I pronounce this right, Quenda Collegiate Girls? All right, thank you so much.
Yes, microphone. All right, can you hear me now? Yes. Great, okay. My name is Brenda Acosta, and I am the Associate Director of Operations at Quenda Collegiate Girls. Quenda is an all-girls K through 5th grade tuition-free school opening up at 2520 Church Avenue. That's between Bedford and Erasmus. We are the second tuition-free all-girls K through 5th grade school in all of Brooklyn. And we are just letting people know that we're here, that our applications are open for kindergarten and first grade. And some of the special things that we offer is free after school every single day until 6 p.m. And then we also offer free drop-off. So If you know any families that have a long work day, this will be really ideal for them. We also have free uniforms, free school supplies, and on March 14th, that's a Saturday, we have a big event where every girl ages 3 to 6 will get a free toy. There is also going to be music for kids, arts and crafts, and face painting. We already had an event like it on January 17th. A lot of people came, but a lot of people who RSVP'd were not able to attend because of the snow that day. So we're holding another event so more families can join us. And again, our applications are for K and first grade. And in our curriculum, we have 2 special classes that, is special to Cuenda. One of them is called Voice and Empowerment. And so when girls are younger, we teach them how to advocate for themselves. And then as they grow older, we teach them public speaking skills. We also have a class that's called Somatic Movement and Dance. And so that's a mix between dance and yoga. And it's very healing, a very zen class for the little ones to teach them how to regulate their emotions. And in addition to that, what else can I say about Cuenda? Cuenda means to go in Swahili, if you're interested in knowing. And so that means that we believe that girls should be able to go wherever they want to in life, and we want to give them the tools to be able to do that. If you want any information about Cuenda, you can approach me today. I have flyers about enrollment, and then I also have flyers for the event as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sweet. Thank you so much for that, Brenda. And so next up, we have Kadeem Phillip from Brooklyn Dreams Charter School.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was going to say, it's kind of just the charter school part of the community board. Hello, everyone. If you've seen me before, my name is Kadeem Phillip. I represent Brooklyn Dreams Charter School. We're a tuition-free charter school that goes from K to 8. We are located at 259 Parkville Avenue. We do have many variety of different specialties, whether it's ICT, whether it's 12-in-1 learning, different things for students who have different types of disabilities. But right now, I am just reaching out today. Tomorrow, we have an open house where we provide free tours to any family who wants to come and just check out the school, maybe see it, have any questions, talk to staff, have any inquiries that you need answered from 3:30 to about 5:30. Right now, we are preparing and we have open enrollment until about April 1st for our K-8, and we are presenting our first time doing for our kindergarten class, which is called Grow With Us, which is a 3-part series between now, April and June, which is just really getting the kindergartners into understanding going into school, getting some activities for them three different times. And then in the summertime, we do have a kindergarten kickoff party, and also we have kinder camp, which is just, they'll come in for 3-4 hours a day. They start to slowly get integrated into like what it is to be in a classroom, what it is to feel like to go to school, and things of that nature. So I do have flyers here in regards to our open house. And also, if you know anyone that is currently looking for a school for their child, looking to transfer, I also have flyers for what we have for our referral program. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kadeem. All right, so next up, we have Ellie Slavin.
Good evening. My name is Ellie Slavin. I'm community liaison for Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Before I speak about our office, I just want to give a plug again for the 70th precinct. I go to that meeting monthly. It's run by Ed Powell. She's the chair. Great guy. You have a chance to speak to the commanding officer of the precinct for any of your concerns. So it's a really a good meeting to be at. Having said that, we're located at 222 Lenox Road, between Rogers and Ostrin. Our number is 718-287-1142. We handle and try to assist with all federal issues. In addition, I left some flyers on the table for those who are traveling. It's a very good idea to register with, it's called Take a Step, which is acronym for Smart Travelers Enrollment Program. It puts you in touch with the consulates or the embassies in your area, so God forbid, times are scary sometimes, and they will notify you. You can be in touch with the embassies and the consulates. Also, we deal with passports, so if you have a need for an emergency passport within 5 days of your travel, you should contact our office, and we do have a congressional liaison at the passport office, so we are able to get you an emergency passport. There's a lot of stuff happening in Washington, D.C., as we all know. On our website, which is clark.house.gov, clark.house.gov, there's a lot of information regarding bills that are being sponsored, bills that the Congresswoman is supporting, co-sponsoring, so please take a couple minutes of your time to know what's going on in Washington. In addition, I announced last month, and I'll mention it again, we have now 3 satellite offices where I come to, in Borough Park, it's at the office of Assemblyman Eifenstein. His address is 1310 48th Street, and the phone number to call to make an appointment is 718-853-9616. I'm there twice a month, every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. Now, for Flatbush, for this area, those it's hard for them to come out to 222 Lenox Road. The first Wednesday of the month, I'm at Kojo of Flatbush, 1523 Avenue M. Their phone number is 718-377-2900. I also left flyers on the table. We are opening now every fourth Wednesday of the month. Every third Wednesday of the month. I'll be sitting at the office of State Senator Sutton, 1412 Avenue J, Suite 2E. Their number is 718-253-2015, and there are flyers on the table. And everybody have yourself a safe and warm evening.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much, Ellie. So next up we have Megan Fleming White.
Good evening, everyone. Megan, Constituent Liaison from Councilmember Farrah Lewis's office. Just a couple announcements. So the first one is Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center, which was also mentioned before. Today marks the official grand opening for Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center in Council District 45. Our team is proud to celebrate the realization of this long-awaited project with Councilmember Farrah Lewis, who has fought tirelessly to deliver this to the community. Councilmember Lewis stood alongside New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani, Assembly Member Rodney Bashad Hermelin, and other elected officials to welcome this to the community members, the state-of-art facility. We cannot truly wait for the youth to utilize this center. You can find more about this center at New York City governmentdepartments.org about the project, what the center has, and how to become a member. It's very exciting. Next is Hot Spot Top Lot. Just an update on that. So Councilmember Lewis met with the New York City Department of Transportation Commissioner Michael Flynn to discuss several active DOT cases requiring immediate attention. Among these requests, we highlighted the need for additional street lighting near Hot Spot Top Lot. In the light of the recent shooting incident, our office is committed to taking all necessary steps and measures to enhance public safety and reduce gun violence in the community. Next is a reminder that to apply for discretionary funding, the deadline is February 18th at 6 p.m. Councilmember Lewis will be hosting 3 additional virtual workshops, February 11th, February 12th, and February 17th. We strongly encourage community organizations to take advantage of those informational sessions. And lastly, property tax exemption workshops. Our office will be hosting NOPV, which is Notice of Property Value, and tax exemption workshops on February 11th and March 3rd in partnership with the Department of Finance. The deadline to apply for tax exemptions is March 15th. We strongly encourage property owners to take advantage of this opportunity to learn and receive more direct assistance from housing organizations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Megan. And so next up, we have Noah Mabrams.
Hi, everybody. My name is Noam Abrahams, representing State Senator Sam Sutton. Before we get into the event schedule, I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's been a little cold lately. You know, it's 23 degrees outside, and I think that's warm now, which is its own problem. But in case you aren't aware, the city and state offer lots of benefits to help you pay for heating. If you know anyone who needs help with heating, there's HEAP, the Home Energy Assistance Program, right, which can pay out. There's also emergency HEAP if you have a shut-off notice, which is another like $500 of benefits you can get, as well as today, a program called the Neighborhood Heating Fund, which is administered by an organization called HeartShare, just opens its applications, which is another grant you can receive to pay for heating. If you know anyone who needs help paying for heating, please have them call our office at 718-253-2015, and we'll be able to point them at which program you need to get first to then get the other program. Two events, as you just heard, we're hosting Brooklyn's own Slavin for mobile office hours with the Yvette Clark's office on the third Wednesday of every month, which is next Wednesday, the 18th. So if you have an issue with something federal, be it passports, be it U.S. Department of Labor, any of that kind of stuff, and you're looking for somewhere to go down in this area, you would head to our office at 14 12th Avenue J. Give us a call so we can make sure there's a time slot just for you. Next, on February 19th, we're proud to be hosting a free mammogram testing van with the American Italian Cancer Foundation. Early detection saves lives, so it's completely free of cost. If you have insurance, there's no copay. If you don't have insurance, it's free anyway. So no matter what, it's available for women 40 to 75 who have not had a mammogram in the past year. Please give our office a call to schedule an appointment. Each appointment is 12 minutes. It's fast. They make sure everything's okay. Please, we have slots available. Please call us so we can book you an appointment. Lastly, the New York State Senate's Youth Leadership Recognition Award Program honors outstanding students who will become future leaders. Eligible students include current sophomores, juniors, and seniors in high school who excel academically or through leadership and extracurricular and volunteer activities. Recipients of the award receive a personalized certificate from their senator, whether it's our office or another office. You can, if you're an educator or a parent, nominate a student on your senator's website, which is your senator's last name, .nysenate.gov. Obviously, the kids in our district are the best, but if you need to recognize a student in another district, you can. Nominations must be submitted by February 28th. Teachers can submit, parents can submit, so please make sure to recognize our young leaders and our next generation of leaders. That's all I've got today. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark.
I'm working on my type 5.
All right. So next up, please correct me in case I mispronounce your name. Is it Nader Vasowian?
That's correct.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, sure.
Thank you all. My name is Nader Vasukian. I live on East 21st Street. And I'm new to this, and I'm still trying to understand how things work. I live on the block where the recent shooting took place, and I just recently met with my neighbors, our block association, and we're eager to understand how we can work with the councilwoman in seeing to capital improvements both to the top lot and also improved lighting along the corridor. And like I said, I'm a novice at all this, so I'd also be grateful on any feedback in terms of just understanding how government works, because that seems like a bit like a mystery to me too still. So thank you very much.
Sure, definitely. Well, first thing, watch your step because there's a lot of cables and things. But yeah, you came to the right place, and so you have our Nader. So thank you for coming, and yeah, you have Abrams and other folks. So. All right. So next up, we have Portia Edwards.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I'm
evening.
going to say Happy New Year because I haven't seen you guys in a while.
It still counts. It's legit.
Right,
It still counts. That's how I work. If I haven't seen you and it's August, I'm gonna say it, and then people get mad. That's on them. So I'm with you.
Thank you. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Portia Edwards. I'm the District Director for State Senator Zona Myri's office, and I just bring greetings from the State Senator as he is in the cold of New York, in Albany, working at the moment. I just bring a few updates. We are holding first of all, Happy Black Futures Month. We are holding a Black Future event on February 19th from 5 to 7 p.m. Join us for Black History Month, a screening of Everlasting, the life and legacy of Medgar Evers, preceded by a brief panel discussion honoring his lasting impact on the fight for civil rights. We're super excited about this. It's going to be at the Weeksville Heritage Center on February 19th from 5 to 7 p.m. There will be light refreshments, so if you are interested, you can, all of our information is on our socials as well too, so if you're on the socials, you can register on one of our socials. The flyer is there, and also I will send the flyer to the board so that you guys have it as well. And then for Black Futures Month, so Black Futures Month, in her groundbreaking essay, How Long Till Black Future Month, N.K. Jemisin challenges us to imagine a Black future where everyone is included and historically marginalized people are free to relax and dream. So each year, if you haven't been following us on social, or if you have, you'll notice that each year we explore policy solutions that strive toward this Black future to improve the lives of New Yorkers. So we're asking this year that our New Yorkers, our neighbors get involved as well. And it's pretty simple. We want to highlight how real New Yorkers in our district are envisioning and striving toward a Black future every day. So we're looking for videos, maybe 15 to 60 seconds, of answering some of the questions that we have. If you're in part, I'm not going to read out all of the questions because it's a lot. But some of the questions are, finish the line. I envision a future where blank, right? Or what does community look like for you in a thriving future? So those are two of some of the questions that we have. It's so fun. I've done it. A couple of our community members have done it as well. If you're interested in doing it, we're going to post it on our socials, I think once every week. And so let me know if you're looking for it, if you would like to do it as well. Our office is located at 1077 Nostrand Avenue, and that's on the corner of Lincoln Road, across the street from St. Francis of Assisi, St. Blaise Catholic Church. And our office number is 718-284-4700. If you need to reach me, you can always email me at pedwards.nysenate@gmail.com. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, so next up we have Jay Taubman from Brooklyn Public Library.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings from Brooklyn Public Library. I am adult librarian and assistant branch manager at the Cortelyou branch of Brooklyn Public Library, but I am representing the whole library tonight as a whole. I'm going to talk about some programs that we're having in both our branch and other branches. First, I want to wish everyone a happy Black History Month. And also, I hope that everyone had a good New Year's Day and a good Dr. Martin Luther King Day, and everyone remembered what Dr. Martin Luther King not only gave his life for, but also lived his life for, and how he can inspire all of us to try to be the best versions of ourselves to help out other people who are suffering in the community, regardless of race, creed, color, gender orientation, or what have you. So these are the programs that are coming up. First of all, we're going to be having a book discussion group at the Cortelyou Library on March 18th. And we're going to be, it's about last days of Marilyn Monroe. So I'm inviting everybody. It's going to be on Wednesday, March 18th from 2 to 6 p.m. The book is The Last Days of Marilyn Monroe by James Patterson. Also, another exciting program that we're having at the Cortelyou branch. Create your own Valentine's Day coloring pages using AI. So this combines Valentine's Day with AI. It's a very exciting and innovative program that our technology research specialist is going to be doing. This is going to be on February 12th between 4 and 5 p.m. at Cortelyou. At the Kensington branch coming up this Friday, February 13th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., there's going to be a disability resource fair. And it's going to be covering all kinds of topics, including Office of People with Developmental Disabilities, NYC Human Rights Commission, Center for Independence of the Disabled, and so on and so forth. This, if you or anyone you know could benefit from learning about disability rights, this is not to be missed. Also, last but not least, I wanted to mention that we are having coming up NYC tax assistance at the Brooklyn Public Library. And I wanted to mention that, and people with dependents, I think don't quote me, but $97,000 and below if you have dependents here, and $63,000 and below without dependents qualify for free tax assistance through the AARP and other groups. So that's on our website. All this information is on our website at bkoinlibrary.org. And there's one last thing I wanted to share quickly. Oh, here it is. Last thing I wanted to share you. Our favorite programs for young children are back. Select branches across Brooklyn are hosting Brainy Babies programs this February. Brainy Babies is a program that combines research techniques. It's a story time, but it's not just a story time. It combines story time with special techniques that have been proven to help a baby's brain to develop better. And it includes reading books, singing songs, and doing fun activities that promote language development, social, emotional skills, and more. So this month we are continue recognizing the cultures of Brooklyn with special story times scheduled across Brooklyn in 9 languages. Finally, you and your kids can read for the record the world's largest shared reading experience. So, and don't forget also Brooklyn Public Library is going to be having a series of events at different branches for Black History Month. So please learn about all these things from the flyers that I put on the table, and more information on our website, bkoinlibrary.org. We are also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media outlets. Thank you very much.
Way to go, Jay. Way to go, Jay. And so we got Britt Bird from Borough President Reynoso's office.
I'd like to everyone has never made on the
Hey folks, Britt Bird from BP Reynoso's office. The Borough President's capital applications are live. Got this flyer in the back. As you may know, every year the BP allocates part of his entire capital budget to invest in infrastructure across the borough. This includes schools, affordable housing, community centers, cultural organizations, hospitals, libraries, parks, streetscapes, you name it. The applications this year must be submitted by Friday, February 19th, whatever day of the week that is, at 5 p.m. February 19th at 5 p.m. Thursday. Thank you. I had a feeling that was wrong. Next, I appreciate the preview of the comprehensive plan webinar on February 19th. Happy to answer any questions about it because I will actually be leading that webinar to review everything that is in this document, which I will be dropping off to the district manager as a Community Board 14 copy of the comprehensive plan for Brooklyn. It's coming your way. That document includes a lot of material that was mentioned earlier, such as about how do we think about different approaches to the new IBX stations and new housing. But also, more fundamentally, it is a proof of concept for a way that the city can plan its investments that we think through in terms of budget responses, district statements of needs, 'tis the season for these things. How can we coordinate these things with the physical planning of the borough and when we build new housing? Because right now it's all done separately, much to all of our frustration. So that'll be February 19th, online between 6 to 7:30, and that is an event exclusively for community board members, so it will be distributed from our office, and feel free to reach out for that information. Next, there is a community briefing about a just transition plan to discuss the future development of Gowanus and Narrows Peaker plant sites. That's the Gowanus and Narrows Peaker plant sites. The briefing will take place between 12 and 2 at 462 36th Street. You can see this flyer for more details. That's in Sunset Park. Then our office is partnering to host a panel about Black women lawyers and the organizations they have established in honor of Black History Month. That panel will run from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. on February 25th at Brooklyn Borough Hall. Next, the borough president is also hosting and facilitating free tax prep from February 2nd through April 8th. There's flyers in the back with information. You have to make an appointment. There's a flyer in English, Spanish, Haitian Creole, and Mandarin. And appointments are available Mondays and Wednesdays between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And then finally, I also appreciate the mention of the low traffic neighborhoods event that our office is hosting in partnership with a group called Open Plans. I am making a special effort to really reach out to the transportation committees of community boards to explore how low traffic neighborhoods are a different way of thinking through streetscape investments that are really rooted in a specific place, such as a school, a park, or a house of worship in our neighborhoods. I also think CB14 is uniquely well situated to explore this concept. It's going to be March 3rd, Tuesday at 6 p.m. at Borough Hall, and I'll be following up with a flyer and happy to answer any questions about that offline. Thanks.
Brett, before you step away, I want to augment your report because you were talking about the capital allocations from the borough president, and I want to just extend thanks on behalf of this whole community for the 5 vans that they cut the ribbon for. They were granted to HASC in Rambon, and they have a large and growing clientele of multiply handicapped people who now have transportation to and from programs and events. So thanks to the borough president for that.
I'll take that along.
Thank you so much for that as well. And so, folks, as always, I thank the members of the public for coming out tonight. I always do, especially with the cold and all that other stuff. So, friendly reminder, we got multiple flyers out there, the Youth Resource Fair. We have the stuff that Britt mentioned. We have a bunch of stuff there, so please take those resources. This concludes the public comment period. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion. All right. 8:40 p.m. Bam.